Hey freediving family, I'm here today with Alexey Molchanov. Alexey is the world record holder for the deepest dive with fins. It's 129 meters. But Alexey, you've also had other world records, yeah?
I had a world record with the monofin distance. It's a length record, 250 meters. It was back in 2008, it's a long time ago.
2008?
2008.
Do you prefer diving in the pool, or do you prefer depth?
Absolutely, I prefer depth.
Is there any particular reason?
It's just more complex. It's more. There is more challenges at depth. If you start like in the pool, is simpler. You just. It's. There are also some cool things. Like I really enjoyed, and I might like. I'll try to reserve some time for the next year. It's just hard to combine like both pool and depth because you need some months to spend in the pool. And then I travel so much and I dive deep so much, so it's like hard. Every time there is a pool world championship, I'm back from somewhere and I have only 1 month to prepare. So
it's true because you can only compete so many times per year.
Yeah.
Personally, I hate the pool. I hate big swims because I feel like with depth, the dives most of the time feel quite nice. They're quite beautiful. But in the pool, at least for myself, I've never been able to get to the point where I've actually enjoyed a long swim or a long dynamic. It's just like it starts and it's painful and it gets worse.
Well, yeah, you need to repeat it so much time, so you learn how to like it.
He's telling me I need to practice more.
Yeah, it's just practicing, repeating, and in the pool, there are some interesting moments with relaxation. If you really you can combine, you can take something from depth. When you dive deep, you can find some tricks which you use at depth and just put them back into the pool. So you can learn how to relax better in the pool with some tricks from depth. That's the interesting combination. And then vice versa, you can also train in the pool, and then you can move some tricks from the pool to the depth.
Yeah, true.
So it's helpful.
True. This is why I'm struggling right now with my own diving.
and I'm not yet with monofin.
Yeah.
I'm struggling with no fins, but not with monofin.
Yeah, for sure. What would you say to the claim that right now you are the world's best freediver? I mean, you won Vertical Blue earlier this year, and for anyone that doesn't know, Vertical Blue is the world's most prestigious freediving competition. Typically, most consistently, we have the biggest performances there, the biggest dives. A lot of world records are broken at Vertical Blue. And for the first time ever, you beat William Trubridge at his own competition, because William Trubridge does host that competition. So what would you say to the phrase that at this moment, or for 2017, you are the world's best freediver?
Well, I would need to be modest, right? If we consider depth like one of the most interesting and prestigious freediving events, I would say then it's true. Like there is a world championship ahead,
for sure,
and it's very prestigious too, and there's less chances to try. And I would better wait for it to finish, and then I would reply after this event.
we'll have a conversation at the end of the World Championship about who the best freediver in the world is.
Yeah, it'll be fair, because Vertical Blue is a very, very good event, and it's very there are lots of records because there's more days to compete. Vertical Blue is a very good event because there is more days to compete. You have 6 tries, and there is it's just more relaxing. I think you can focus on performance better.
For sure.
And in World Championships, it's a bit more challenging because it's just 1 try.
Yeah. I mean, for you guys out there that don't know, the way that the World Championships is structured is that you get 1 attempt at each dive discipline. So 1 attempt to dive with fins, 1 attempt to dive without fins, and then 1 attempt at free immersion. Free immersion is where you pull yourself down the line. That's how you propel yourself. But in Vertical Blue, you get the chance to dive up to 6 times over a period of 11 days. So it's a much more relaxing. I feel like it's a competition that's much more conducive to bringing out the best performance in divers in general.
Exactly, I agree. Yeah.
Cool. So we're here at the moment for the Freediving World Championships. Do you have any specific goals that you would like for this competition? I mean, obviously you're one of the favorites to get gold medals in all of the disciplines. I mean, how are you feeling? We're 2 weeks out from the World Championships. How are you feeling in general about the competition?
Well, it's 2 weeks and it's still a lot of time. So I will see how my training goes in the next couple, like 2 weeks, 10 days. For now, I can feel that it's going well. I still feel a bit jet lagged and tired after traveling because
Sure.
I had quite interesting training good training in Hawaii. I was there for 10 days and I was able to dive to 100 meters, which is enough to be sort of acclimatized, but not enough yet. So I flew here 2 days ago, and it was a long flight for me through Miami, and I feel a bit heavy. Like today I was diving no fins, and it wasn't anywhere close to my personal best. It was 83 meters, whereas my personal best is 96. But I was on the edge today on the surface. I was a little bit.
There was a lot of that going on today, right?
Yeah, a lot of that. I felt heavy. Just like I felt my body is still heavy after traveling and tired.
Yeah, for
so
sure.
We'll see how it goes the next days, and I'll be definitely aiming to be in the prizes, first places, preferably
gold.
Preferably gold in all disciplines. But then you can do so much.
For sure. How do you usually find all the travel? Because for most freedivers, we're kind of on the road almost all the time. I mean, we do get to go to some pretty incredible places, right? But I mean, how do you find that travel fits into your life? Because I mean, obviously travel, it wears you out, and we need to train and we need to stay in good shape. But where's the balance, and how are you finding it at the moment?
Well, I have pretty much similar schedules year after year. I have winter in Russia, where I focus.
So
on the pool.
Of all the time you could have chosen to be in Russia, you chose winter.
I chose winter, and I like it. I really, really like it for the reason that I like seasons.
Yeah.
And then I still travel. I could still travel January or February to somewhere Philippines for some courses, master classes.
For sure.
And I do, but I still like to come back and feel the snow, feel the cold. I feel comfortable in cold.
I'm aware. You've sent me many photos of yourself doing snow angel out in the backyard.
Push-ups.
Yeah.
And then you can drift the car. I go to the pool training, and then we have an empty parking lot. And some days when it's lots of snow, it can be half meter of snow, lots of snow, fresh snow. Then you go, and I have 4-wheel drive, so I can just do circles, do some drifts. Well, it's empty, so it's
for sure.
It's so fun. It's so much fun. And then you have seasons. You have red, all the trees get red and yellow and stuff. It's beautiful.
Yeah, that's
it's
true.
beautiful.
That's
it's
true.
beautiful.
I mean.
So by the end of the year, I start travel really heavily, April, sometime March, April, and then by the end of the year, by December, I'm really tired of all this sand and beach and all this boring stuff.
No, it's true though. I get tired of going to tropical paradises. People always think, "Oh man, you're in these beautiful places." I just want to be at home, in Sydney, and I just want things to be boring for a little bit.
Yeah, me too. I do sometimes want to be at home in Moscow and do things just boring and comfortably boring.
Yeah, people are gonna hate us for saying this.
Yeah, I know. It just sounds so.
It sounds so bad.
So bad.
Oh, we're so sick of traveling to beautiful location after beautiful location. Please help us.
Well, there are lots of adventures, of course, in these beautiful locations, and I'm really grateful for these opportunities. For this, all these cool images we can do in pictures and videos.
Yeah, absolutely.
And, I've been in Hawaii and I did some really incredible night shots with the mobileras and some pilot whales and pygmy killer whales. So that was you cannot do this at home.
No, for sure. I mean, especially I very rarely go into the ocean in Sydney, even though people assume that's Australia is this beautiful beach country or whatever. It's not great. It's not the best for diving. We don't get great visibility. There's not a whole lot to see there. So
there are sharks.
There are sharks.
And there are these leafy sea dragons.
There are leafy sea. There are some really cool things to see there, but it's not it's not quite like other places in the world.
Right.
Yeah, we don't get 40-50 meters viz.
Yeah, that's
which is what we have here. So
yeah, that's important. But in general, all the rest of the year, starting from March, April, I travel all the time, and it is work. I consider it a work. So it's not easy. Even though it's nice and beautiful around. But you need to train. You need to teach. You need to promote equipment. You need to promote education system, training system. So it's all together. It's like lots of work. So it's pretty.
Well, I mean, I get asked this question all the time. Like, how do I fund my lifestyle, my freediving lifestyle? How do you make the money to keep traveling, to keep training, to keep competing? How do you fund your lifestyle?
Well, that would be the first place like 10 years ago when I started 13 years ago. So then I would teach.
Yeah.
And that'll be like my primary source of income. I would teach a lot and do lots of like courses, and now I still do this. I can say I think I do less of courses now,
Sure.
and do a bit more of training and spend a bit more of time developing equipment and promoting equipment. So that's two together, like education, equipment, and then sport itself. Like sometimes I reach for sponsors and I get sponsorship.
Yeah,
so all those three together, three things together, they do combine and they can finance everything.
Yeah, that is interesting though, because I think people assume that you're one of the best freedivers in the world, or you're the best freediver in the world. Surely companies and brands are just throwing money at you. You have all these sponsors, but most of the time we're just making our own money and funding our own training and competition.
Yeah. Most of the time, it's just easier in some way. You have less responsibility for the other companies, and then I have my own company for the brand, so I cannot really take sponsorship from like other wetsuit or like fins producers.
Absolutely.
So for me, it's a bit harder. I would need to look for something else, like watches or something else.
I'll call Rolex after this interview and see what we can do.
Rolex would be cool.
Rolex would be good, right?
Rolex would be good.
If Rolex is watching. Well, I mean, Alexey and I are teaching an 8-day freediving camp in Bali in November, from the 4th until the 11th of November. That's going to be a lot of fun. So if anyone is interested in that, just flick us your email or flick us a message in the comments, and we'll shoot you out the details via email.
Yeah, that'll be actually the first time we teach together.
It will be the first time.
It'll be in Bali. Where like I love to teach in Bali. It's a beautiful place.
It's easy. You know what I mean? Like you swim like 100, 200 meters, and you have like all this easy depth and beautiful conditions. I mean, it's one of the best places I've ever taught in terms of ease of teaching.
Right. Well, for the region, for the Australian region, it's really good.
We don't have Dahab next to us.
You
We don't have the blue hole right there.
Yeah.
Molchanov's the brand. So you have a Molchanov's education system. So there's the Molchanov's teaching system. There's like Molchanov's freediving courses and education.
Yeah.
And then there's Molchanov's equipment. And is there any other? Are those the two main lines of your brand?
Yeah, those are the two main lines.
When did the equipment start? Because I know that Molchanov's education has been around for a while.
Yeah.
But when did the gear begin? Because at least to me, it only seemed like, I mean, now almost everyone wears a Molchanov or uses a Molchanov monofin. They're more or less considered to be the standard monofin in the freediving world now. But when did this all begin? Because it only feels like about maybe 3 years ago that everyone started wearing them.
We've been making monofins with the same master for, I would say, like 13 years now.
Okay.
So from the start, when I was starting freediving, we have this amazing guy who is making monofins and really good in terms of listening and adjusting the product. And then somewhere like 2008, 2009, I started to invest my time and spend more time testing and improving, and just moving the line of the monofins to where I wanted it to be. So
because you have an engineering background, right?
I have an engineering background, but I also have really good sense of water with the monofin, so I can really feel how it works.
That's him being modest now too.
That's I just spent in the water all my life. I was a swimmer since 3 years old, and
you were a competitive swimmer.
I was a competitive swimmer. I was a competitive fin swimmer too.
Okay.
Not for long though for fin swimming, but long enough to have a good technique.
For sure.
And I could really feel that there was something wrong in freediving with the monofins there. They're just not fine-tuned for freediving.
Well, we were using fin swimming monofins for freediving.
Yeah. Before, I don't know any other company now that actually that are focusing on freediving market.
There isn't one.
There isn't one.
To my knowledge.
Yeah.
To my knowledge.
Yeah, there are fin swimming companies which make monofins for freedivers, but it just happens so I'm lucky because that they don't really have a good freediving team improving the product. And we have all freediving Russian national team, which is a really strong national team. And then since 2008 till 2013, as you say, I was developing it and improving it, and we were mostly selling and promoting it internally in Russia. And I I was busy with other things. I was studying, I was in university, and I started promoting internationally after I felt it's a good product, and then I started 2012-13 with the monofins, and then other things came in like carbon bifins, their wetsuits now, like
lanyards,
accessories,
clips,
lanyards,
everything, everything.
buoys and pulling systems. It's all there.
Which I still have to try.
You still have to try.
Do you believe that freediving is a sport for everyone?
I do believe that everyone can take like some valuable lessons from freediving, and not everyone can be in competitive freediving probably, and not everybody would be interested in that too, because that's like being competitive freediver is pretty hard, because you need to schedule training and be like training hard, and then you need to rest for the half of the day of this hard training. You have no energy at all. Like we today, we finished our training, and then we had no energy for the like half of the day. Well, so competitive freediving is for like small percentage of people, because.
But freediving in general.
But freediving in general is an adventure. Like it's like a sport. It's like any sport can be for people who just want to enjoy it and do it in recreational level. So freediving, I would think it's even more, because it's open water. It's a nice lifestyle. You can be on the yacht, you can be on the boat, you can be snorkel from the shore, just next to the reefs, and it's more about exploration. You can just explore things better. And freediving training would be useful for that, just to make it more safe and make it more enjoyable too.
For sure. So
there can be like different motivations, different types of training, and all ages. I would say all ages, and people could do anything. Another thing, it can be stress. Stress management.
A lot of people do it to deal with their anxiety and things like that.
You learn how to breathe, you learn how to control your breathing muscles, diaphragm, you learn how to relax better, and that really increases quality of life in general, because you can really control your breathing and emotions better, and just be more calm and stress resistant person in general.
Yeah, absolutely. For people starting out in freediving, or for beginner freedivers out there, do you have any advice, any tips you'd like to recommend, or something along those lines?
Well, the main tip would be, first of all, never try to like do water training on your own and learn things. Like you can learn how to swim, but breath hold is serious, so take it seriously. Breath hold you need to do with a supervision, with a coach, with a trainer, with a like experienced body who can teach you things safely, like a certified person. Like preferably, because they
preferably an instructor of freediving.
Preferably an instructor for freediving, but in some cases it can be remote location, it can be like no instructors. But you want to have, must have an experienced person, certified, to tell you all the like things about breathing, so not to overbreathe, etc., etc. So that's like a basic thing. And another basic thing would be not to focus on the result, like focus on the joy from the process in the first place. Like just don't try to push for numbers or anything. That's what people in the beginning usually do. They like, I want to hold my breath for 5 minutes, 4 minutes, 3 minutes. Like, and
why is 5 minutes the number that everybody wants?
It's a round number. It's a good number, but that takes away like pleasure from the process, and that makes people push when they don't know the technique and all different aspects of proper training, like relaxation on the first place, all like technique.
Yeah, I suppose in general, like pushing your body all the time and not enjoying the actual dives themselves is a really, really easy way to destroy the love of freediving in you.
Yeah, for sure. So the goal in the beginning would be to focus on the pleasure from freediving and focus on the technique.
For sure. Alright guys, well we're getting eaten by mosquitoes here and it's getting dark, so we're going to wrap up this interview, but we're probably going to follow this up with another interview with Alexey. I'd really like to ask him about some of his own training to get an idea of how he actually prepares for dives, what he actually does. I mean, like, I don't know, does he have a special diet? We're going to find out, right? So, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the water somewhere. Catch you later, guys.